Puju, Miska, Mikase, Quendigo, Mikase do Dame, Sagging Donji, Miigwech, Dina, Kajemanitu, Nongo, Chibanana, Kachiang, Mayab, saying that. Giminiko ma sema, Pangiche, Chikanama, Gayan, Gainin. I was offered tobacco by the Spirit of Peace program that I facilitate to give a teaching. So I have a couple of teachings that I'd like to pass on today. And the first one is the tobacco, how important that tobacco is when we use that tobacco. People offer us tobacco, they request some guidance, or they'd like us to speak about a teaching. And so I'd like to talk about that. It's believed that the tobacco that we use in our prayers, in our pipes, that it goes directly to the Creator. It's with our thoughts and our feelings and our prayers that go up to the Creator when we use this tobacco. And this tobacco is the first medicine that's given to us, and that it's very important that we acknowledge that tobacco and to use that tobacco. And sometimes people will give us a full pouch tobacco for a request, and sometimes we have to fulfill that request when we take that tobacco. We have to fulfill what is asked of us. And this is the tobacco that was offered to me. This tobacco that was offered to me, and it's a full pouch. It's a natural tobacco. There's no kind of chemicals in this tobacco. It's a Mother Earth tobacco that is used. And then this other one that was given to me too for my interview. And these ones, it's sometimes it's given to us in a little tobacco tie. And when they give us in that little tobacco tie, we normally use it for our when we smoke our pipes, because it's enough for us to use in our pipe. So that is a difference. I always try it and teach people the difference between a full pouch of tobacco and a little tobacco tie, and that the tobacco that you smoke, your tobacco of what you are asked to do. So whenever we use tobacco, whatever we do, if we're out in the land picking medicine, the first thing we do is we offer that tobacco to Mother Earth, that we're taking something from her, and we need to put that tobacco down for a good passage, that we're taking those medicines. And the hunters too use the tobacco. They put down that tobacco for the animals, because they're going to be taking that life of the animal. So they pray and they put that tobacco onto the land. And so is our trappers. When the trappers go out to trap the animals, they put the tobacco down. They say the prayers, and that they'll have a good passage to trap. And also the fishermen also use the tobacco, and they offer it to the water when they're going to fish, they offer that tobacco to the water for the fish that they're going to take from the water, from Mother Earth. So this tobacco is used in many different ways, and it's always important that we acknowledge everything, the plants, the animals, whatever we do in our life, that tobacco is very important to us. And when we always acknowledge that the Mother Earth that gives everything, every life, gives life to plants, gives life to animals, it gives life to the fish, everything around her environment, that we thank her. We thank her with this tobacco. So that's what I believe in, and most Anishinaabe people will always have that tobacco. We'll always use that tobacco, and we could use our tobacco too in our smudge bowls. If we put a little bit of smudge, we could put a little bit of tobacco in our smudge, in our sage, in our cedar, whatever we do. And that's the teaching that I received from my elder, that when I first started my journey in a traditional way of life, that tobacco is important, that we try to use it naturally. And when we smoke our pipe, also, we don't inhale our pipe. We let that smoke go up to the Creator. We don't inhale our tobacco, and that's important to know that also. So that's what I have to offer today with the tobacco, and acknowledge that I was given this tobacco to do some teaching. And today I'd like to talk about our Tipi, how our people lived before contact, before our first contact. We our families lived in a teepee. We lived in there, and that child that was the children and the child that was in that teepee, everyone took care of that child. The parents were in the home. The grandparents were in the home, in the teepee, and sometimes the aunts and uncles. Everyone was part of that child. But today, of course, we don't live in those teepees. But it was important back then that the family were together to teach that child. The grandparents were there to teach their children, the parents, how to raise that child. So, but today, you can still teach that child in a good environment, where you're going to pass on values and teachings to the children, because that's what children need today. And then they become parents, and then they become grandparents. So it's important that we still utilize these teachings, and within those 15 poles that's tied together in that teepee, it each has a teaching. The teepee was our first classroom for our children, and today we have oral teachings to teach the children, and it's so important And that's why we have so much violence in the families, because they're lost, and they don't know the teachings. And it's important to have those teachings. Even if we don't live in a teepee, we have a home. We have a home where it has to be a peaceful home, where the children, learn virtues and values. The first pole that was is the teaching is obedience. Obedience. The child is taught obeying the elders, their elders. Their grandparents are the elders, and other elders in the community. That's to obedience. Parents and elders, obedience leads to spiritual insight, self-discipline, listening to ourselves. When we are obedient, all things will fall into place. And that second teaching is respect. Respect is the basic law of life. Treat every person, from babies to elders, with respect at all times. Special respect is given to elders, parents, teachers, and community leaders. Treat the earth and all aspects as your mother. And that third teaching, the third pole, is humility. Never think that you are more important than anyone. Learn from mistakes, change from the better, not to continually talk of past achievements. You have not done enough and you must be fulfilling for others. And that the next pole is the happiness, to have happiness. What do we mean by happiness? Having an inner sense of peace, happiness of being alive. Many First Nations people have the sense of humor, which has become a survival skill when we are happy. Obstacles or problems are not so large. Being happy is a choice we have every day when we wake up. A smile does not cost anything. It's contagious. Give lots of hugs and kisses to people we care about. That's the fourth one. The fifth pole teaches us love. Spending quality time with loved ones. Expression of love, to be considerate and compassionate to all living things. Love of nature, to remember that you are part of a family, in a community, and to the earth, with happiness and success for others. When you become a grandparent, that is truly experiencing love. The sixth pole teaching is faith, believing that the Creator will guide us on our journey. Silence, listening to your spirit, believe in the power of prayer, believing in our dreams, having positive thoughts. We attract what we think about the most. Strong character, education leads to faith and ethics. The seventh pole is kinship. Pride in knowing family tree. Build trusting and loving relationships with relatives. Teach children not to address grandparents, aunts and uncles, and parents by their names. Stress the importance of knowing who you are related to. Marriage proposes. Also respect your siblings. Kinship teachings lead to healthy boundaries. Cleanliness, the eighth pole, the eighth teaching. Keeping clean, putting things in order, house, yard, finances, keeping children clean, clean up mistakes, amends, staying free from harmful substances, clean mind, not to gossip. The ninth pole was thankfulness, the teaching of thankfulness. Giving thanks every morning for the life within you, and that the Creator has given you another day on the earth. Being in a state of thankfulness makes you a happy person. See the beauty and abundance of life. Be thankful of one's gifts and blessings, remembering that we have our families for support in times of need. The 10th teaching, the 10th pole, sharing knowledge to all people. Understanding is enlightening through legends and stories. Sharing our experiences in healing circles. Sharing your time to help people in need, such as elders. Share your blessings. Being generous to everyone. The 11th teaching, the pole, strength, never giving up, to persevere, value of lifelong learning, identifying personal strengths, skills, and interests. Actively heal yourself. Seize opportunity for growth, developing a strong mind. Stand your ground with your peer pressure. Creator designed all of us to succeed in life. It's a choice we make. The 12th teaching, the 12th pole is good child rearing. Teach the importance of extended family. Grandmothers, teach children whom they are related to. Teach and role model and mentor virtues. Preparing for parenthood. Parenthood means responsibility. Spending time with grandparents and other elders to learn. The 13th pole, the teaching of hope. Hope is connected to faith, always accepting positive things to happen in life, extending generational cycles in your family systems. A better life is achieved with education is a priority. It is a hope that has kept our languages and cultures intact. The 14th pole, the teaching, ultimate protection. The Creator, in everything we do, in our everyday journey in life, we must always acknowledge the Creator first. When we walk in the footsteps of our Tipi teachings, we are showing obedience to the Creator's laws. The Creator gave us life and will protect us every day. The 15th pole, the teaching is control flaps from the wind. We can change our destiny making positive changes in our lives. We can wake up every day and decide to have a happy day. We can decide what is best for us. Elders have earned the right to speak boldly about life. So these are the teachings of the poles in our Tipi. And the first 6 years of a child's life is most important. It is crucial for teaching to be taught to them, which is why obedience must be taught first in all of other virtues in a child's life. And we look at our 4 cycles of life. Is the traditional family systems is where the child, the youth, the adult, the elder, those are the 4 circles of life that we understand as parents, as grandparents. And when we're raising that child in a home, to have a peaceful home, if we all learn those teachings, we'd avoid the violence in homes today, which is very, very important for the next generation that's coming, to stop that violence and to learn the teachings of our people. And that is the greatest gift that we can give our children, is to not have violence in the home. And I say miigwech for me to pass on this teaching that was given to me by a woman that is one of my mentor, where she taught me about the traditional parenting, which I took with her. And her name is Janet Fox, and she's the one that gave me these teachings, and she's the one that passed on these cards, because I believe that it's important that we pass on to our parents today. So I thank you today for listening to me. Miigwech.